Yo. Gotta love the NFL, man. Gotta love the NFL.
I was just talking about how they don't be having no motion, and then look at that.
Look at that. Look at that, man. We are live here. Tuesday, March 10th, 2026. Media Markets live stream. I'm your guy, Media Markets. Here with my guy, Chuck. Chuck, how you doing, man?
Doing well. I'm doing well.
In the building. And, I brought you here to talk NFL free agency, right? I was like, we could talk, obviously, Maxi. I was going to talk some of that as well.
Okay.
But we just got breaking news in the NFL. Breaking news. The Baltimore Ravens have backed out of their trade for Max Crosby. The Raiders gave out a statement. The statement reads, the Baltimore Ravens have backed out of the trade agreement for Max Crosby. We will have no further comment at this time. The Raiders sent out that statement that Max Crosby, breaking news, Max Crosby is not headed to Baltimore. He is staying with the Raiders as the Baltimore Ravens have backed out of the trade agreement. This is breaking news, so there's more to develop. We'll hear some more, I'm sure, coming up. But Chuck, what's going on in Baltimore right now?
Sounds like buyer's remorse. I heard someone say that I forget who else got traded, but there was another trade in which Micah Parsons. They were talking about the Micah Parsons trade and how much that fetched for him. And maybe it's buyer's remorse. Maybe Crosby has I don't know too much about his off-field issues, but maybe he has things that we don't know about pertaining to, his actual play that could be a factor. But I think this is interesting. Like, this is the first time I feel as though I've heard something like this happen in the NFL, at least to recent memory. So I'm just super intrigued by what's next.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen anything like this in a while. I mean, maybe we've seen something back in the day. Usually, I mean, things like this, as far as physicals go, did he pass his physical? Max Crosby, we know he was hurt to end of the season, or quote unquote hurt. Apparently, he wanted to play, but the Raiders maybe did not. But yes, the Max Crosby. This is the latest breaking news. Max Crosby is no longer going to Baltimore. They have backed out of the trade. We do not know the reasons why yet, but the Baltimore Ravens have backed out of the trade. And Max Crosby, defensive end, all-pro defensive end, will not be going to Baltimore. He's staying in Vegas for the time being. And that is just crazy. I'm thinking it's got to be a physical thing, right? It's got to be something maybe health-wise. Otherwise, you can't just back out of a trade.
Right? But I was going to ask you, can you? Like, I don't know what the collective bargaining, I haven't gotten into the weeds, so I don't know. Like, is there because I know the league season hasn't started yet, hasn't officially started. So is there something to the effect of, hey, you could, like when you buy a car or something, you're just like, hey, 3 days, I got 15-day grace period.
Yeah.
Is it one of those things?
Yeah, it could be like in the CBA kind of thing, but I mean, that's wicked. Usually, like I said, when things like this happen, there's something like the physical, they're hurt, they're not up to par as far as playing. And also maybe this was done before the league year started. Maybe this was agreed upon in principle, but obviously the paperwork hadn't been done. So now when the paperwork is supposed to be done, the Ravens, like you said, maybe have buyer's remorse. So what do the Ravens do now? I mean, they traded a first-round pick this year, right? 17th, I think it was 17th or something like that overall. The Raiders thought that they would have. And they also traded a first-round pick next year, so they get those picks back. And Max Crosby goes back to the Raiders. That's and
my biggest thing is that in particular when you do something like this, when you trade a player for a pick, that's so important because that's what we're essentially saying. Max Crosby is getting traded for 2 first rounders. That's essentially the trade. In the minds of the Raiders, these are potential starters, like bona fide, solidified guys who are going to, lead your team for maybe, hopefully 10, 15 years or whatever, however long you get a first round locked in pick. So to rescind that, if I'm the Raiders, I'm upset because you've thrown off my whole program, especially when they have the number 1 overall pick and a second. You've thrown off everything. For the Ravens, it's, hey, we're trying to find another player. We might draft. But if I'm the Raiders, I'm very upset.
For sure. I mean that's definitely some unprecedented stuff. I feel like we've seen. I know we've seen it with and then the player going back to the team that traded him. We saw this with the Lakers last year. What's the guy's name?
Connect.
Dalton Connect. So yeah, well, I mean awkward. We'll see about that. But yeah, so yes, that is the latest right now. Max Crosby no longer going to the Baltimore Ravens. They have decided for now. So that is the latest right now. And we'll see what happens with that. But that was crazy, man. Right, we're going live. I'm like, look at that. Look at that. I gotta start going live at 8 p.m. more frequently, huh? All right, so we're in the building. While we're here, we're talking NFL, Chuck. That's what we came here to do. I got to be quite frank. I mean, well, there's some big things happening in the NFL since noon yesterday. Some of the big dominoes that have fallen. I mean, I know the Titans kind of went crazy and spent the money. They want to put pieces around their number one pick, Cam Ward, and their new head coach. Who is their coach? I think is it.
I couldn't tell you.
They bought their OC, but he's not their coach.
Saleh. Robert Saleh.
Robert Saleh with Dayball as the OC, right? So, but the Titans went crazy. We'll talk about them. Talk about some of the big names like Mike Evans, Kenneth Walker. But I feel like one of the things that happened. I mean, people always talk winners and losers. Who do you think will be the winner of the NFL free agency so far?
Ooh, winner. I'm gonna go with the Tyler Linderbaum.
Okay,
that's how you say his last name. Just that contract structure. Was it 50 guaranteed at signing, and then the rest of it at the start at this point next year, 3-year deal, 25 years old. He basically got a Deshaun Watson contract as a center, and that's the thing about free agency. Once you actually get to real free agency, you don't have franchise tags, this and that. You see how much your market value is worth. So for me, it's him. Tyler, he actually showed, and he's a center. You know, you normally hear left tackles, maybe even a right tackle getting paid, but for a center to get that type of bag, kudos.
Yeah, who did he sign with? Tyler Linderbaum.
The Raiders.
Signed with the Raiders, came from the Ravens though, right? Correct?
Yes.
So the Ravens feeling it right now, man. They're like, shit, we need that pick. We need them picks, man. You gotta get that back, bro. Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't really. I'm trying to think of a winner right now for myself. Maybe. I think you know it's just really one big signing, but I mean the Mike Evans signing for the 49ers. Okay. I mean, we know that he's up there in age, right? And you know, last year was his first year not having 1,000 yards, but I mean, if he's healthy in this offense, it's a really dynamic. I think Brock Purdy can play well as long as he's being protected. You got guys like Trent Williams still under. I mean, I know that there was some talk about Trent Williams and the contracts. They always seem to work it out. So I don't think he's going to go anywhere. He loves his coach, Christian McCaffrey, coming back as long as he's healthy. I think that this offense could really take that next step and get over the hump. So I think from a free agency standpoint, if you're a 49ers fan, you got to be like, wow, this is a big signing. So I think that they would be the winners for me right now. But I think the losers, I got a team that was I believe they were in the AFC conference last year, conference game, the Denver Broncos.
Okay.
The Denver Broncos, it feels like they're just losing players left and right. And then when you think about who they've retained, I know they wanted to go after Travis Etienne. And this is how free agency works, right? You try to like kind of play one angle and it slips out of your hands, and then you gotta kind of move to the next. But they were trying to get Travis Etienne to kind of complement RJ Harvey and have a 1-2 punch. And instead, Etienne ends up going to the Saints. He went to, I feel like, where's he from? I'm not sure. I know he went to Clemson. But
he went to Clemson.
Yeah, he went to Clemson, but Etienne ends up going to the New Orleans Saints. And now the Denver is kind of scrambling. They re-signed J.K. Dobbins, who just had that terrible injury, knee surgery. And he's been banged up, a lot in his career. He hasn't had too many healthy seasons, especially when you talk about playing in January. So I think they were the losers. I mean, I think some of their pass rushers got taken away or signed from other teams, and they really haven't re-signed anyone. So they're definitely my losers right now, the Denver Broncos, especially when you were right there in the AFC Championship last year.
When I think of losers, I think it's hard for me, just like you said, free agency is kind of one big glob. But I'm gonna go with the Eagles because I feel as though they lost a lot of guys. N'Kobe Dean, who was the safety? They lost the safety. They didn't sort of fill in any offensive needs. I feel as though Blankenship
he did leave. Bro, I saw that today.
He left. I don't feel as though they got any like other wide receivers, and just with all the AJ Brown noise in the air, it feels as though like they didn't do anything. I know they today they signed Woolen from the Seahawks, but I don't know how much that does for me because you've lost way too many pieces for that one signing to make up. So for me, I would go with the Eagles as of now.
Yeah, and they lost Jalen Phillips as well, who Carolina signed for a big bag, 4-year, 120. So, yeah, I mean, I think some others, I mean, people are talking about what the Lions have done. They got Pacheco. Terms have not been disclosed, though. I feel like they probably just got him at a low number, right? Pacheco's not the same guy we thought he would be in 2022. So they probably got him at a lower number than what they did Montgomery when they had an extension with him last year. So you obviously be saving some bread there, and they kind of attacked in the draft. So I'm not there yet on the Detroit Lions, but some other things I got here. What about the Chiefs? The Chiefs, I feel like they pulled out the first real punch in the
with the Kenneth Walker
free agency with the Kenneth Walker acquisition, Super Bowl MVP. Kenneth Walker. So I gotta show him some love. But yes, he signed with the Chiefs. What do you think about what they've done so far? I don't know what else they've done outside.
Yeah,
of
I don't know. See I know Kelsey re-signed. I saw that. Yep. The Chiefs are interesting to me because outside of last year, basically for the last 7 years, they've been the epitome of what a good NFL team is, and they really haven't had like these crazy off seasons. Maybe if I can't remember off the top where it's just like they just go get people. But like the Eagles, I feel as though they lost people. McDuffie, like this is going to be the second or third year in a row where they're losing a cornerback, like a really good cornerback. Once again, I don't know because they weren't that good last year. I don't know if it really affected them as much, but I don't know how much you could keep losing veteran talent like that and just things keep going. We saw it not go well last year, so maybe that's just an ultimate reset. You know, Mahomes hurt and everything else, but I'm just worried that they might have, we might be over the hill with the Kansas City stuff. Like this signing might be one of those things when we're looking back like 2-3 years, we're like, oh, he went there past the time when he should have been there. He should have been trying to get there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at what else they've done. I mean, as far as signings, they signed Alohi Gilman to a 3-year, $24 million deal. That's about what Reed Blankenship got also in Houston. It was about 3 years, $24 million. So I thought Philly could work that out, but Houston did some pretty good things this offseason as well. Re-signed Danielle Hunter.
I love that.
1 year, $40 million. Right. They acquired David Montgomery.
Hold on. You said 1 year, $40 million?
1 year, $40 million, bro. Hey, 1 year, 40.1. Don't forget that extra 100,000.
That's like an NBA salary.
Yeah. So Danielle Hunter, 1 year, $40 million. They re-signed their kicker, Farbarn, whatever, but also they re-signed Dalton Schultz, Sheldon Rankins, Trent Brown, all those guys. They got extensions. They bring in David Montgomery to kind of have him and Woody Marks possibly be a 1-2 punch, get the young guy right. And you kind of like just hoping CJ Stroud gets it. And those young receivers they drafted last year, right?
Yeah.
They drafted the Jalen Knowles and there's another guy. It's 2 Jalen's, right?
Yeah. And then Tank Dell will come back from his injury.
Right, you might get Tank Dell back, maybe like a second half of the season. So I think they put themselves in a good position. You just really need CJ Stroud to. Well, you need to boost up this offensive line, right? You need to so that in the draft you can attack with the offensive line, right? I feel like you got young guys; they'll get better, game by game. So, but they also, like you said, they got Reed Blankenship. I think the Houston Texans done a good job so far in free agency.
Yeah, go get a backup quarterback.
Fair enough. I'm hearing Andy Dalton might be fine. Like they pull a trigger. I mean, call us. Then the Panthers done a couple good things.
I like what the Panthers did this free agency.
Yeah, the Panthers. They ended up getting
Dowdle. No.
Let Dowdle end up going
to
the Steelers. Right? Yeah. No, not Dowdle ended up going to the Steelers. And Kenneth Gainwell from the Steelers.
There we go.
To Tampa Bay. So and I'm hearing some Rashad White possibly
Okay.
happen in one of these other destinations. But what about what the Giants done? New York. Let's go to New York. What about they got
Ooh,
they signed Tremaine Edmonds, 3 years, 36 million.
that's a good deal.
Pro Bowl linebacker from Chicago. Isaiah
Mhm.
Likely going back with his last former coach in Harbaugh, 3 years, 40 million for him. Greg Newsome they signed to a 1 year, $8 million
Good
deal.
corner.
Yep, good corner. They re-signed Micah McFadden. That's not that great of a deal. 1 year, $5 million.
Okay.
But they re-signed offensive tackle Alumar, 3 years, 39 million. So they obviously value him. But what do you think about what they're doing in the John Harbaugh era?
Yeah, I like it. I feel as though this is a team where free agency works, I think, different in the NFL because 11 players, not one signing is going to overhaul a team. I don't care who it is. Even like quarterbacks, one signing isn't going to be enough. It's a multitude in over, I think, like 2 to 3 years. I think this is a really good starting point because I think they have the foundation. They got a quarterback. They have defensive pass rushers. I would have loved to see them kind of solidify those outside corners, safety, just like get someone who's kind of locked down or just a little bit, a little bit more of a, I don't even want to say household name, but just more shut down or lockdown. But as far as like the building of a team, I think they've done a great job. Dart loved the tight end, so getting a tight end like Likely seems like such a no-brainer. He's going to function in like that kind of wide receiver tight end role. So I actually think, like, I hate to say, like, the Giants did a sneaky good job.
Yeah, the Giants, I mean, no doubt. I mean, they're going to put the pieces around Dart, right? They want to put him in the most successful position. Scatterbo got to come back from that injury. I don't know what's going on with Tyrone Tracy. I'm not sure about his contract. I don't know if he's a free agent or not. But let's stay in New York. The Jets, they signed Demario Davis to a 2 year, $22 million deal. He's back with that team.
Coming back.
Yeah, he's been 5-time, like at least he's been All Pro 5 times. I was turning 30, so I saw that today. They signed edge Joseph Osai, 3 years, $36 million. Another edge Kingsley Ingbar, 1 year, $10 million. Defensive tackle they signed David. Damn, they're getting all the Africans. Shucks. Onyemata, David Onyemata. I've heard him though. I know his name. 1 year, $10 million deal. Safety and Dane Belton. So Minka Fitzpatrick they also traded for. So I mean they're trying to get this defense together around Aaron Glenn. And honestly, I think that's how they got to be successful because Aaron Glenn is not like the greatest of great. When you put that talent around him, he could coach them up. So I think that they're doing the right thing right now for the Jets.
I said in the chat where I said I love what the Jets are doing because I think a team has to be in the identity of their coach. The Detroit Lions is the perfect example. When Dan Campbell first came, what did they do? They went to go get very defensive, hard-nosed, blue-collar type of players that fit Dan Campbell. I think Aaron Glenn last year I don't think it was on him. I'm very quick to be like, it's on the coach, but it seemed like none of those players were set for what he does best. As a coach, kind of how he likes, none of those players were right for him. Now you give him the players who are right for him. I think this defense is going to be amazing. Like they had one interception last season, or they had some crazy, Trust me, with the players that he has, with the pass rush he's gonna get, with Minka back there, I think I wouldn't be surprised if they get 10, 15 interceptions halfway through the season. So I think you're gonna allow his team to be his team, especially a defense. Like, don't go get running backs. Don't go get quarterbacks. Like, that's what they did all Justin. No. Let Aaron Glenn get his guys, and you build the team in his makeup, and then you go get a serviceable quarter, and then you do the rest.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's what we saw the last time they were successful. Rex Ryan, you had guys that are around him, defensive guys. You stay in games, and you could plug in a quarterback. Sam Darnold just won the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm just saying. So that's the recipe. Defense wins championships. So you got to put those pieces around them. Jets doing a pretty good job so far. You got to see what they do in the draft. What about the Titans, though? Tennessee Titans, we talked about them earlier. And the Broncos, who I said the losers. The Broncos are the losers so far in my book for NFL free agency. A team that was in the AFC Conference game and have just lost players like John Franklin Myers and haven't re-signed and haven't signed anyone. The Broncos haven't. So, but yeah, Tennessee Titans, they signed John Franklin's-Meyer to a 3-year, $63 million deal, $42 million guaranteed. Make some noise for him.
Make some noise.
Yeah, also signed Wan'Dale Robinson from the Giants, 4-year, $70 million deal. He had 100 receptions last year, I believe. Wan'Dale did. Alontae Taylor from the Saints, 3 years, $60 million. Cordell Flott, not sure what team he came from, 3 years, $45 million. Daniel Bellinger, 3 years, $24 million. So they've been spending money, right? And they we already know that they were pretty good defensively last year. They weren't perfect, but they got Jeffrey Simmons, who's a dog back there. I mean, what do you think about the Titans spending the money so far in free agency?
Yeah, once again, I like teams who try to make an identity for themselves. Like you said, this team has the quarterback. They have a good defense. Now you need talent. And I don't know, in the NFL, the only two places you get talent is through the draft and free agency. You're very seldom are you going to trade and get more talent than what you gave up. So for me, of all those people you named, I only heard of one name where I was like, ooh, I don't know if I would have paid that contract. So it seems as though they went and got talent at a good price.
Was that Bellinger, by the way?
No, I think Bellinger is a decent, like, for what tight ends are cost. I think he's a decent price. It was the dude you said you didn't know what team he came from.
Oh yeah. Cordell Flott, 3 years, $45 million.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what his value is. So he could be worth it. He could not be. But everybody else who you said, I'm thinking to myself, did the Titans have that player last year? Maybe, maybe not. And if they did they pay too much for this guy? And of all the people you name, I don't think so. So for me, this is one of the things where, like, it's all you, Robert Saleh. Like, they done gave you everything you have needed. You done got your quarterback. You done got your defensive players. You done got your offensive minded coach to work with your core. Everything is set in place for you. Now you got to deliver. So I think the Titans, and I feel like the Titans spend money. Like, I don't feel as though, like, they're kind of cheap with it. Like, they'll spend money if they feel as though they have a chance, and I feel as though they got a chance.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely got a chance, especially with the quarterback and Brian Daboll being his OC, and that defense is going to be good with Saleh. And then, when Saleh was with the Jets, he had to worry. You got to worry about so much as a coach, and I get he's supposed to oversee, but you really got to stay in the thick of things with your unit of the ball. Yep. Like, I feel like that's how the
good teams,
Belichick's of the world. Yeah. This is what I do, so this is going to be strong. I'm going to get a guy who's been proven as an OC, that Brian Daboll with a number 1 overall pick, and we got money to spend. Yeah. I mean, that's what all you could hope for as a coach. I mean,
all you can hope for.
All you can hope for, bro. There's a Heisman winning guy in Cam Ward, so I mean, you gotta show love. So
and also, do you take that job if you don't believe in Cam Ward? I don't think you do that.
No, you don't. Not at Robert Saleh, because he's already been in that situation, right? So, but yeah, so the Titans, man, I'm not mad at them at all. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I have for the NFL free agent. Oh, A.J. Brown. Is A.J. Brown going to be traded? We saw the Romeo Doubs go to the Patriots today, 4 years, about $80 million with incentives, $67 million, but another 12 or so in incentives.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Romeo Doubs. You know what I mean? From your Packers.
Yeah, for sure.
So will A.J. Brown be traded? I mean, the Patriots were saying they were the number 1 destination. They just signed a receiver. Will he be traded, A.J. Brown?
Well, it's funny. When we first started this, we had the breaking news of the Ravens. The two teams that were said to be, I guess, most linked to maybe an A.J. Brown trade were the Ravens and the Patriots. Now, if I'm just doing some deductive, math right here, well, we done got rid of the Patriots essentially because of that money, and now it leaves the Ravens. I think A.J. Brown gets traded only because there's too much smoke. There's too many people both on his side and the Eagles side saying things. Normally you would just be like, no, we're going to keep him. He's a great player. Move on. But there's a lot of, if it works out. So for me, where there's smoke, there's almost always fire. And he got traded to the Titans on draft day last time when he got traded. So if he does get traded, I would expect more so a draft day trade than anything.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, it feels like it's over. You know what I mean? Like, you reached the peak. You guys won a championship together. It feels like the identity of the Eagles may be going into a different direction. Well, maybe that's already the direction they're in, right? Run the ball, hit them kind of when they're sleeping. But Yeah, I think that AJ Brown, he's won that championship, and now you just want to get your stats up. You want to be a Hall of Fame guy, run it up, and I totally get it. Like, it's not the NBA where guys go, "Oh, I got 4.5, 3, 4." It's like, bro, I got one, I'm a champion. I got Hall of Fame numbers. Like, what you want from me? So, and I think that's kind of where he's at. Well, most wide receivers would be. He's still in his 20s. Like, you want to ball out, bro. So I feel like even though I do not think though it's over for the Patriots. I think they have enough bread to get this done. A 4 year, 67 million. How much is that a year? I mean, that's what, about 15, about less than 15 a year, right? I mean, so yeah, I'm sorry, my math. Thinking four, 15, four, what was that, 70, 15,
Yeah, you're right. 415.
yeah, 45. Yeah. So I mean, he's not like, it's not like they're breaking the bank on this guy, right? So I feel like they still can bring in AJ Brown. Now you got AJ Brown, you got Romeo Dobbs, you got what's the booty who played well with so now you got you got all, and you got a Pop Douglas to kind of fly in there. Those are receivers now. Now you got a receiving core. So I don't think it's over for the Patriots at all. I think they can add with Romeo Dobbs, AJ Brown as well. But Ravens, they got to be in that conversation considering they got at least one extra first round pick now. They could say, hey. So yes, that's the latest with the AJ Brown saga. And if you didn't know, we broke the news starting this off. Max Crosby will not be traded to the Ravens. The Ravens said they do not want to do the deal. Essentially, they're like, "Nah, we actually good. No, listen, we good. My bad, how bad." And Max Crosby is headed back to Vegas after a whole weekend of. I mean, this happened what, Friday night?
Yeah,
Friday night, bro. So all of this.
Tuesday. We almost halfway into the week.
It's very interesting, but before we talk NBA, I want to talk the biggest story in the NBA right now.
Okay.
Magic City Monday. They canceled it, Charles. I already gave my thoughts. Let me get yours. The cancellation.
Listen,
the thought of the promotion and the cancellation.
Okay, so first of all, I hate everything about the where we're at in the country right now because there's no rhyme or reason to anything. The promotion, Magic City. Me and you have been in Magic City together, right?
Yeah, that's a fact. Breaking news.
Shout out to Magic City. Yeah. The promotion, everyone knows Magic City is a strip club. Okay, whatever. The promotion wasn't going to be about strippers. It was going to be about the idea of what this establishment means. Anybody knows it's wings, it's strippers, it's entertainment, it's an idea. It's the idea of what it means to be in Atlanta, in a strip club, all that stuff. Fine. The promotion, like I said, wasn't going to have strippers. So at that point, what are you upset about? Are you upset about that there's an idea that the idea of Magic City exists? If that's the case, I don't want to see cheerleaders. I don't want to see scantily clad anything that has to do with the NBA now, because if the idea of strippers is like, whatever. So I just think, like, once again, Luke Cornett, if I see you, Luke Cornett, if I see you, boy, you're going to be like, what did I do, my brother? I'm be like, you bum ass. Like, I just don't get why people who you weren't even playing in the game, why you feel so strongly about it. So, like, just that overall idea makes no sense to me. But like before my little rant, what I started was I hate everything about this, the way we're living, is because, bro, the NBA has so many more issues than the idea of Magic City, whatever night in Atlanta. Like, I don't even want to go into like who owns this, who owns that, what they're involved. But it just seems very, very tone deaf in a league where it's mostly young, it's mostly men, and they're mostly Black, African American, whatever, to now be like, yeah, that one thing, especially the tamed down version. Like I said, it wasn't gonna be no strippers. It was a tamed down version of Magic City is where you guys draw the line. It's a no for me, dog.
It's a no for Chuck. It's a no. I feel like they're gonna have a good night though. This upcoming Monday, it's gonna be a good night. People are gonna show up in spite of not being able to have this at the Hawks game. I thought it was an innovative idea. You know, we got the Gen Zs out here, you know, getting in these roles, and like, who know, millennials as well. Like, yo, somebody throw it out there. It was popping. People were feeling it, and then too many people started talking about it. That's what I said last week. I was like, too many people are talking about this right now. And in any situation like that where everybody has an opinion, whether it's bad or good, because I saw some people saying, well, this is the culture and it's art form. I was like, once they saying it's art form, it's like, all right, bro. Let's then we're gonna wrap it up. Adam Silver's not gonna have this. There's too many opinions on.
But see, sides. I'm so quick. This is a larger issue I have with the NBA. The NBA is too reactionary. I was talking on this with the guys. You remember when the NBA changed the basketball in like 04, 05 season?
For sure.
Why? Because people were saying that the ball was too like the NBA has too much of they care too much about PR. If you focus on playing games that weren't blowouts every night, you'll be fine. Your league won't need to do Magic City promos. But when you care everything about it, the NBA cares about winning on social media, and that's going to be their demise. I promise.
Yeah, they definitely be reacting. Now, that was a great example. I remember Shaq was talking about the ball, and there were a couple of others. They need to change the ball back, and they changed it back. They certainly did very quickly. What else do I feel like? Though NBA, I mean, Tyrese Maxey out for at least a few more weeks now. He'll be reevaluating in 3 weeks. Philly, we know Embiid is always battling injuries. Paul George, I think he's out for another 8 games on suspension. But I mean, they were playing all right. What do you think about them going forward?
This is the issue with tanking. Where is their pick fall? Because that's the only thing that matters in the NBA. It seems like there's 3 categories: teams that are playing to win championships, teams that are tanking, and then teams that are just kind of in between. And the Sixers are like one of the weirdest teams because on some days you're like, man, if everything's hitting, this team could challenge, And then on the flip side, you're like, well, with Embiid's contract, with this person's contract, with this player, BJ Edge, maybe if they get this pick, then they could get this person this year's like. I see, and the thing is, the only reason that matters is because of their draft pick, because of like where it falls. Is it protected? Is it this? Is it that? That's the problem with the NBA. Every team should always be competing to win. I don't even know I couldn't even tell you what the Sixers' actual goal is.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know. Like, because once again, if you tell me that pick like is going to be like a top 3, whatever protected, then I'm like, oh, go for it. Start losing. Sit Maxey and go get Boozer. Go get AJ. Go get Peterson. But if you're telling me, hey, that pick is going to go to the Hawks or whoever, shit, you better start winning some games. You better try to get into the playoffs. And the NBA got way bigger problems than Magic City, man.
For sure, man. But I mean, listen, I think the Philly that I thought they were, playing well. I feel like, it's interesting. Unc in our basketball chat, he wanted to step out there after hating Joel Embiid the entire time that I've known him. He's like, oh, but I thought if they're healthy, they could be, a threat in the playoffs. And we're just like, okay, all right, Unc. Which I'm talking about Justin Cobb, if you don't know. But so I mean, I felt kind of the same though. I feel like, I mean, obviously they're all healthy, but that's one series. Like that doesn't mean that they're going to make it to a championship or even get to a conference finals. I think that maybe they can challenge a team and kind of make it close, and we'll see after that. But I mean, with the Tyrese Maxey and the VJ Edgecombe, those are the guys. Bro. I mean, the other two are just, you hope that they're like savvy vets and just can get some things done just off strength that they've been there, in these situations for such a long time. But I mean, they just need to get their shit together, right? Like, I have no problem rooting for Philly, right? I feel like obviously we went to school there. I like Maxey, I like Edgecombe, I love Edgecombe. So, you got you have an MVP and Embiid there, Paul George, who's been competing for MVP. And I know, Paul George isn't the same, 26-year-old that he was, but he can play a part in all this. So I don't know long term, but for a little playoff series or something, I definitely will tune in to watch them fuck around.
You think they'll make the playoffs?
Well, Maxey being out 3 weeks more, I'm not sure.
Honestly, that's the thing. Like once Maxey gets hurt, I think like everything I had said or thought about them kind of just went out the window.
Yeah, in 3 weeks, it's what, March 20. Well, 3 weeks.
March 10th.
21 days.
He come back April 1st.
It's March Yeah, it's March 31st, April 1st. So, and that's playoff time. So
playoffs, and starts in what, a week after that?
Yeah, a week after that. So yeah, it's looking slow. But VJ Edgecombe, my boy, look yourself in the mirror. Say, look, I'm finna take. He seemed like one of them guys, though, man.
Oh, for sure.
But we'll see what happens with Philly going forward. All right, John. I think that's it for the NBA, NFL. Let me see a couple of news stories here. What do you about your man Dwight Howard?
So Dwight Howard is so interesting because he's weirdly like popular for a lot of off field, like off court stuff. But I don't think he's ever actually been in trouble. Like a lot of it is gossip. A lot of it is like, shade room type stuff. And he's super personable. Like I think I would hang out with Dwight Howard. Like if Dwight Howard was like, let's go hang out tonight, I'd be like, we probably gonna have a lit time. So I think he has this weird thing where he can make a lot of people like him. But for me, when there's always these rumors and there's always these things about you, at a certain point, there's got to be some truth. Like people don't just make up stuff about you just to make up stuff about you, just to make up stuff about you.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm just super, like, I want to see him. No, I don't want to see him get in trouble, but like something has to stick for me to be like, all right. Outside of that, it's just like Dwight be living his life. Like a lot of this stuff is like very wild and egregious, but it doesn't seem like, let me not say harmful, because some of it has some of the alleged stuff has been harmful, but it doesn't seem like the type of stuff that'll make me be like, throw him under the jail. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah. he might be doing some things I wouldn't agree with, but
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm an Orlando Magic fan. I've dealt with all the Dwight Howard saga over the past 22 years, and he's definitely been ridiculous in a lot of moments. But I mean, I thought it was out of pocket. Like, for your wife, this is someone that you're married to. Even if he does have a drug problem, the CPS is being. And my thing was like, I don't think anyone confirmed that CPS took the child. Like, I didn't hear anyone confirm that. Right? I heard her allege that, but I didn't hear anyone confirm that CPS took this child away. And Dwight Howard no longer, because we saw him the next day in the Lakers game, like
with a kid. There was a kid next to him.
With a kid next to him. I didn't even peep that part. A kid next to him.
There was like a little. That's why I was just like, oh, he's trolling. Like you talking about how like my kids or whatever. I'm literally in public with a. Listen, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought that, like, listen, if, the CBS thing, I didn't hear anyone confirm that outside of what she said. So it's just like, are there not documents that CPS like will come to your crib and took the child? Like, I would feel like the documents would be, and I'm not calling her a lie. I have no idea what's going on, right? But apparently, police have been called to their residence a few times. And things like that. So what you said about Dwight, like, it's probably true. Like he has like some, he probably has another little side to him, right? And that's fine. But it's nothing that's been like over the top that we've seen, and I can't report on because I don't know if it's confirmed, right? Like so. But we also these. I was thinking when you were talking, these are things that we were hearing a lot about Diddy and these accusations before he went to court. But Diddy's only been convicted of the prostitution. So even from that standpoint,
that's the thing. Like it's one of these things where I don't like how the public tries to put stuff on everybody else. They're like, you support Dwight or you support, but it's like as a public person in the public, I can only give you the information I know. Like the stuff I know about Dwight Howard is him and his wife talking. Like as someone who's married, like, sometimes you and your wife have different disagreements now to the point where they alleging each other of doing coke and shit. But right. These are internal kind of personal issues, and it's very hard for me to just be like, okay, let's litigate this in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like so. Like Dwight could also be, like you said, he could be a wild lover, and I would just be like, yeah.
Yeah, man. So that Dwight, he's an interesting guy, bro, but somehow just still relevant. You know what I mean?
Bro,
he hasn't played basketball in a while.
He's like Shaq without like the super TV ads. Like he's super personal. Like he seems like a guy. He's the big giant that everyone seems to like hug and like want to like. And it's just like, wow. You really be wilding.
Yo, Dwight is out. He be outside,
bro. He got Ella's baby mamas like just off of some like all right, you be doing too much. Like you could be like, yo, Dry be doing too. Like he was married to that shorty who was in the WNBA for like 2 weeks.
I do remember her. I do remember her. They won the championship, and she was there, right?
Bro, then his other wife was on Basketball Wives at one point, Roxy or whatever her name was. Like, and these are different women. Like, and we're not, and these are 2 women, not including the woman who has accused him of this. Like,
guy's lovable. He just loves hard, man. He loves hard. Loves hard, parties hard. He's just a guy. Plays hard. I never seen Dwight not play.
Champion,
NBA champion. Breaking more than the developing news in the Max Crosby. So this is Diana Rossini reporting. Max Crosby did not pass his physical today, per sources. The Ravens get their first round picks back. So Max Crosby, the Ravens say, he did not pass his physical today, per sources. And the Ravens will get their first round pick.
Question: when something like that happens, because we have time before the league season starts and the actual the actual playing season starts. Is there any way that this can be redone, or are we just like, I don't even know if you were Max Crosby, would you even want to go there anymore? Like,
I feel like that's when it's like you I don't want to say bye. Because obviously these are players and actually human beings. But it's like, and from a linear perspective, it's for like buying something. It comes like in delivery, and it's not exactly what you wanted, and it just we had a recall on it, but in 2 weeks you got it, and it's like, nah, I actually don't even want it anymore. Like we'll just step back. I haven't seen things like it. When things don't go through like this, it doesn't seem like they can read, because it's like, why didn't he pass the physical then? Now when he does pass the physical, is he supposed to? The
question is what? Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's a tough one there. But Max Crosby, that is the latest. He is going back to the Raiders. He did not pass his physical. And
awkward.
So he's going back to the Raiders. No Ravens trade for Max Crosby. All right, before we got here, Chuck, I told you 45 minutes. We're at 41, so we're right on time. Last thing I got, and this is outside of the sports world, but I saw this today. Blex Media reporting Whoopi Goldberg, a new documentary on Whoopi Goldberg's life, legacy, comes into development. So once again, Blex Media reporting, a documentary from EGOT winner Whoopi Goldberg is officially in development with a Perfect Neighbor director. I'm not even going to try to Gita. I don't want to butcher the name. Attached to the helm of the project. So produced by Image Documentaries and Message Pictures in association with One Hope Productions. The United Untitled film will offer an intimate look into Goldberg's life, career, and lasting impact on entertainment. So Whoopi Goldberg getting this documentary. I don't know exactly where it's going to be dropped yet. Obviously, Netflix is the biggest, out there. But and Whoopi Goldberg documentary, EGOT winner. What do you think? It's certainly time, right?
Yeah, for sure. Whoopi is so interesting to me because as a kid, Whoopi was strictly a movie star. Like, that's what she was. I remember Sister Act, Ghost. Like, I was way too young to be, but I just remember those movies, and I remember her in a weird sense because she was legitimately like actor famous. Like, I don't know how many people, like, growing up today, I feel like people have a weird sense of fame because people aren't like the same type of famous they were back then. But that's a whole other thing. But the second part of her career, she's been a commentator. The View, like, I'm sure there are people who only know her as the black lady on The View.
Right.
So I wonder how a story like this, because she's had like kind of like 2 really different types of careers, but they've all been in this media industry. So I wonder how it actually, comes up to be shown. And I think the last thing about her is like her personal life. The only 2 things I really know about her is that I think she has a kid.
It's a daughter, I believe.
I believe, and and then her and Ted Danson one time.
Ted Danson, right?
So like, I want to know. Like, I would be curious to just find out more about her life, and they gotta do the blackface. Like, I'm sorry, I need to see something about the blackface. Like, outside of that, I'm super intrigued. Whoopi's one of them ones.
Yeah, and I think documentaries like this kind of bring, back to the front of the mind. Right? I remember watching Being Eddie or Becoming Eddie, which is on Netflix. And I know how great Eddie Murphy is, right? But when you kind of put it all into a 90-minute and really like go over it comb by comb with a fine, like it's like, oh yeah, Eddie Murphy was the man, and Whoopi Goldberg was that woman.
Yes.
Like she was certainly a movie star, dating Ted Danson. But you know, being in these big films and I mean feature films that like franchise films, right? There were 3 sister acts, if I'm correct. So, and she was in Color Purple, and you know, like these are that's what Steve.
She was in that basketball movie with the Knicks.
Eddie. She was the coach in Eddie, right? The basketball movie with the Knicks.
Man. Whoopi was that in the 90s. Whoopi was like a legitimate super, like that's what I'm saying. Like, not because she was some sex symbol, but because she was one of the best actors, period. And like I said, I don't think we have fame like that in the year 2026. So I'm gonna love this documentary because I was recently watching the Tyra, and I was like, wow, like the early 2000s, I literally forgot just how crazy that time was. And I think you get to appreciate when you watch stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree, man. But Whoopi Goldberg, EGOT winner, that is Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and a Tony. That is a very short list, and she's done that. I want to see kind of the behind the scenes, like when she was younger, how she came up, and you know how she sort of swerved into the media space that she is in now. And she's a prominent figure on The View. I mean, it's not like
it's her show.
Yeah, it's her show.
It went from Martha, I think not Martha. It went whoever that white lady. I forget she was a anchor or a reporter, and then it went to Whoopi's show. That's literally what The View has. She's currently the longest tenured person, I believe, on the show. Her or the Beth lady.
Yeah, so stay clear, Timothy Chalamet. She took some shots at him.
Oh, did you see he took some shots at the ballet?
And that's why she came back to him, and she was like, "Oh, like so Whoopi had to come back on him on The View."
But you are you a Timothy Chalamet guy?
I am. Marty Supreme, my guy.
But he's a theater kid, so I was actually very surprised at that take from him in particular, because like he's French too. Like I know that has, but like everything about him says he would be actually pro. But I was whatever.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they called him at the wrong time. you know, sometimes we all slip up. Just send the apology, bro. Send a donation. Keep it moving. It's a story about stories.
Doja Cat went hard at him.
Yeah, Doja Cat. I mean, people that are in that space would certainly go hard. Like, yo, don't knock what we do. You know what I mean? That's a part of and what becomes from that age where you had to sing, you had to dance, you had to act, you had to project. Like
that's the thing. Theater, like. I'm sorry, we gotta get you out of here. But theater is like a real medium space that I don't think people legitimately appreciate. Like I've been to a few Broadway shows. Like it's a different type of acting. Like it's not what you see on feature film. So like respect that shit, man.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, Chalamet is my guy. I love Marty Supreme. Have you seen Marty Supreme?
Nah, I should watch it.
Yeah, check that out, bro.
I'm gonna watch it.
It gives Uncut Gems vibes. Like it's kind of fast paced. You kind of go through his life and day and all this bullshit. So. It's a good movie, so send a check, Chalamet. All right, do what's right, do the right thing, man. All right, but Chuck, man, I appreciate you coming through. We talked NFL free agency. We got some breaking news, so that was nice.
Hey.
And we talked Whoopi Goldberg as well, NBA, Phillies, 76ers, all of that. So appreciate you pulling up. Appreciate you all for watching, listening, and tuning in. I'll put this out. Start putting out the Max Crosby stuff now, and podcasts, all that. So we'll see you guys soon. And Chuck, I'll have you on a little more frequently.
Listen, guys, let's get the bands going. You gotta come through on the pod as well.
Yeah. Speaking of, before we actually get out of here, please promote your podcast. Promote the Hazy Thoughts brand, the High Coast podcast.
Yeah, randomly, I didn't mean to do this on purpose, but I'm actually wearing the Hazy Thoughts shirt. Check out us on YouTube. That's where you can find the podcast we do, High Coast the podcast. Me, Mook, Omatic, also known as Salman to some of y'all on P's page. We talk politics, sports. We just like to banter and give different perspectives. So P's been on there a few times too. So we're gonna have him back for sure.
Here we go, man. So yeah, next time we'll go a little politics in here as well. So,
I like that.
All right, so that is it. Appreciate you all for listening and tuning in. Charles, I'm gonna end the stream. You can drop off, and I'll chat with you soon, brother. See you guys soon. Cheers.